Hi guys, and welcome to this slightly different video today. I'm going to answer two questions. One, where do I download stickers? And two, how do I make stickers? This is something that quite a few people have reached out to me both on PSN and Instagram to ask about. And I thought let's do a quick video to go through and show you how it's done. So it's a bit messy right now, honestly, with PC and console together. There is a lot of liveries shared every day. There's a lot of stickers shared every day, and it's pretty hard to know which ones you want to use or which is less than good, let's be honest, and can be skipped. So making stickers is pretty hard, honestly. It's taken me thousands of hours since Rider 3 to get to a point where they're all right, they're pretty good. Even beginning of Ride 5, I would say I was about 70% there. Weren't too great. Some of the dimensions and were a little bit off, and just really knuckled down in Ride 5 to get to a stage where, okay, cool, I think these are pretty close to the real thing. So to find stickers in Ride 5, you're going to come into the editor and go down to stickers. Highly recommend this if you're new to making liveries. It's pretty hard to get into, to be honest. There's a bit of a steep learning curve if you haven't got any help. So use other people's stickers if you can. It's a great way to get some good liveries off at the beginning. So I'm going to go in, click this, and go to search for online content. We'll give it a moment to load up. Now, if you're new to this and you don't want to trape through pages and pages of content, no worries. I'll give you a little tip. What I want you to do is click the filter button. It is the select button on PlayStation. You'll see it in the top left. And then move this to sort by downloads. Give that a moment to load. When you click that, you can see the filter in the top left. It says any downloads, no filter. And it's going to show you the most popular stickers first. Honestly, it's kind of first come, first served with Ride because there isn't a filter as in like show me the best last week, show me the best over the last month. So it really is whoever gets the game first, whoever gets early access to make a load of stickers appears at the top. And this time it was me. So I've got quite a lot of stickers here, but what I want you to do if you're new to this game, find one, highlight it. You see I'm highlighting the Castrol one. Highlight that, and then you're going to click the filter button again. So click that select again, and this time go down to filter by and move it over to selected player. When it's highlighted on selected player, you can see at the bottom right, you want to be clicking apply and exit. Click that, give it a moment to think about it. And then it's going to show you just an individual's stickers, which there is some people that are pretty decent at making stickers. And this will filter out all those that are not up to par, not up to standard just yet. People kind of early on in their journey of making stickers, and then you can kind of jump through the many pages. You've got your Monster, HRC, Yakubovic, Castro, Motul. I make liveries. I've done liveries for many years, and I went pretty hard in Ride 5 making liveries. Honestly, I'm probably not going to make as many liveries in Ride 6 just for time and work. But I am probably going to try my best to give you the tools to make your own liveries, and that's going to be in the form of stickers. So that, okay, maybe I can't make every single BSB livery ever, but I can give you the tools to have a go at making them yourself, right? So give you the stickers to do that. But you can find all the popular ones. I know what people need. I know which ones I needed in Ride 5 the most, so made sure that I made those first. So if you're not bothered about making stickers and you just want to have a go at making your own liveries, then this is a good way to do it. You can click into any of these that you like this Harley Davidson one, and then you can just click to press the X button or the download button, and then it will be in your little bucket to be used in your liveries. If there is stickers that you really need and you're like, why has nobody made this yet? This is crazy. You can put a comment below and I'm happy to make it for you. If to be honest, I've got enough requests probably to last me to the end of the year. But if it's something is requested that's popular, then I'll do it. I'll put it higher up the list. But there's lots of things that you can see to get yourself going and get you started. There's quite a lot of pages already. I'm probably going to hit a limit. And if there is a limit, I'll do another video to let you know how to find the other ones. But really like random stuff as well that I put in. You can see there's a Jordan sticker as well that got requested. These should help. So Video's kind of over if you just want to use other people's stickers. If you want to make a sticker, then that's slightly different. So let's do a sticker in real time. I'm not really sure what to make yet, but let's make a sticker in real time, and then you can see how it's done. And you can see my process, okay? Okay, so we're back in the editor. What I'd like you to do now is go into stickers, and you're going to do a new project. Why don't you, because I'm going to do this in real time, why don't you have a go and see if you can do it with me? I promise I won't do something too crazy. Let's make a cartoon, a little cartoon or something. So what I think we're going to do for this one is let's make, have you ever heard of Mishwe? I think Mishwe is a good one to do. Let's make the Mishwe logo. It's a little cartoon. It's pretty cute. And I've just got back from China, so I've seen it a lot recently. So you've got your layers down to the left. You've got 2,000 layers to make a sticker. Please don't use 2,000 layers. You are not going to be able to use it. Honestly, if it's 1,000, you ain't going to be able to use it, really. So as an absolute maximum, as an absolute limit, if 800 is kind of like a limit, right? If you're going over 800 on your stickers, you ain't going to make a very good livery. I had this issue once in Ride 5 with it was a Trooper Triumph. I might try and make that again on Ride 6 and see if I can do it any better. But yeah, that was pretty brutal. So what you're going to do, click to add a layer. And let's start off with something nice and easy. Let's click the circle. You get to choose a color. You can save the color. Can you see at the bottom right, you've got save color. You also have advanced palette. If you press the advanced palette, then you can use like the hex codes and the sliders to get the exact color you want. Pretty useful if you're doing something slightly different, maybe like a Petronas Honda. You can then find the exact color that you need. Though I have a problem with my screen, sorry, my TV screen, in that it's very bright. So I'm always making them appear quite dark. I hope that doesn't appear that way on this video. When you're happy with the color, you can press apply, which is select on PlayStation, and then you can move it smaller, larger by default, and then you can use your left analog to move it around. And then the advanced, can you see on the right hand side, you've got a lot of options. Click advanced, it's going to let you squish it. It's going to let you squish it this way too with the right analog. So you can do that. And then with the left analog, it'll let you skew it. So it'll move it like this and move it like that. Okay. You can do up and down. You can do this with every shape. Now, some shapes are better than others, but really, if you've got squares and circles and the like crescent moon shapes, you can get away with most things. To reset it, you would press advanced, hold down advanced, and you would be able to just press the left analog and it'll go back to how it was before. Okay, so we can make this into a little bit of a fat circle in the middle of our screen like so. And then what we're going to do is press print. And now we have two. We have two fat circles. I'm not going to put another one down. I'm going to press circle to get out of that. And then I'm going to go on my layers. Can you see I can move up and down the layers on the left-hand screen? If you click into that layer, you've got a whole bunch of things you can do to it. We can change the color. So it's pretty easy if you want to change a black piece of text into a white piece of text. You'd go down each layer and just change it. Though I would like it if we could make, bulk them together and then change the color on bulk would be nice. Also, what we can do, if you look at the right-hand side, we can delete it. We can press R2 to delete. We can copy it. Let's copy this one. So I'm going to press square to copy. And now I can press triangle to paste. So when I press triangle, I can choose where in the layers that I'd like it to appear. I'm going to put this one on top. And then I'm going to press circle to cancel because I've already got two. Go into the uppermost layer like so. And I'm going to change this one to white because we are going to make a funky snowman. Let's save that black. That might come in useful. I'm going to press square on the black and it'll see in the saved colors. Now, don't go all the way down like this to get to your saved colors. That will be very annoying and very cumbersome. Instead, when you want to use your saved colors, come into your palette, press triangle, and then go down, and it is way quicker. And I'm going to choose white. I'm going to move that down. Can you see as I move it smaller, the black layer underneath appears like so. So we have a circle. What else should we draw on here? Let's make some eyes. To do some eyes, we're going to do it very, very similar. Go and get our circle. We've added a new layer. The eyes on Mishwe is... Let me actually open up a photograph of Mishwe. Blue. Blue eyes. I'm glad I looked because I wasn't going to choose blue. Let's put some circle eyes on there. Like so. And then we've got his eyes have like stars in. Now, luckily, we already have some stars. Let's add the star. It kind of goes like that, but not quite. See, you can move it around. We can just put it so that, yeah, that's about right, but it kind of curves around a bit more. The crescent moon shapes, you can see at the bottom of this page 1. Oh my god, best shapes. They will save you a lot of trouble. And I can actually make that kind of curve correctly, like so. Happy with that? Let's make the mouth now. Where should we do the mouth? The mouth is also blue. Interesting color choices on Mishwe. So I'm going to do like that. And then when you press one down, your other one remains like so. You can actually change the color again and just keep going with that shape if you wanted. Or you can press square to replace. You don't even have to come out. You can just press square to replace it. And then circle to recolor. And then do it that way. Now that I'm recording, I'm a lot less confident in my skills. Oh dear. I want that as close to evenly a thickness as possible. Good enough. Now what I'm going to do is, like before, I'm going to press, this time I'm going to press square and then go back to my trusty moon, and I just want to make this a little bit more curved. And he has a bubble of sorts. This actually might be perfect. He has a red bubble, kind of sticks out of his mouth like that. And his nose, which is like a carrot, to the surprise of nobody. Which I think we might actually use a custom one because the yellows are generally pretty terrible. So for yellow, just put your little color in yellow and then press triangle, and that'll give you that yellow as a starting point. And then what I like to do is go up to the hue and then just move that to roughly the point where yellow becomes orange. So kind of like that Pirelli color. Now, on my screen, I don't know if you can tell, but that is way brighter on the actual sticker than it is on the left color picker. I tend to use the color picker on the left as a gauge for the color. It tends to be more that color when you put it on the bike. If it's a bit more difficult and you can't see the yellow too well, go back, save the color if you haven't already, and then go make it like a really dark red. And then you can see it really easily. And you can just change those colors after. What would be nice for this, maybe? Yeah, a little bit squished. And then that's going to go. Good enough, I think. Good enough. If you see sometimes when you're making this and it's like a little bit, like you've got like a couple of pixels out, can you see the tip of the nose? You can spend a lot of time editing that and making it perfect. Honestly, when you put it on the bike, it's not that noticeable. I wouldn't lose sleep over it, especially if you're relatively new to this. And I'm just going to change those colors. X to open the layer, down twice to change color, X, and then down to the color that you want. And then you've got that. So this little guy has a crown, of course he has. So we're going to put a crown on this circle now. If you are drawing cartoons, maybe start with the outline first. It's usually a good good rule of thumb. I tend to use that way. So it indents his head somewhat. Let's do that. And then it's kind of, maybe do the middle one first. If you're using your analog, you can move a lot faster and it's a lot easier. If you are wanting some accuracy, so let's say I put a circle here. Now I need a circle over here that's at the exact same level. If you're using text, this is crazy important. You can put the circle down, and then instead of using your analog, just use the directional arrows on your button, on your controller, and you can get it way more accurate. And let's put some circles. This guy's crown is white. Let's put that down like that. If you want to edit any layers at any point, you can go back to them and make them a little bit neater, like so. And you can see as you go up each of the layers that they are highlighting. Can you see as I'm going up, it's highlighting it, flashing it blue. That's really helpful. And then I can then look and see if I'm happy with that before I go and put the uppermost layer on. Maybe this one needs to be a little bit. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's add the white on top of there. Again, we can add that circle in the middle. So I have been asked already, to the surprise of no one, am I making BSB on Ride 6? I will make the downloadable championship. That is a promise. I've already had BSB riders ask about that. So that will be coming back. Whether or not I'm making every one of the deliveries, I'm not sure. I hope I can give people the tools to make some BSB deliveries themselves, and then I can use them in the downloadable championship. So it'll save me a bit of time, and then I can just basically put together the championship with any missing content. I'm happy to make that. Which actually I did that on the first time I made it. So this was like BSB 2024. Yeah, 2024. The first time I made it, that's what I did. So I did about 70% of the bikes on that. I'm not happy with that. Let's change it to a different shape. So yeah, I did about 70% of the bikes on that one. And then people like Adam BGP, Orange Skunk. So Orange Skunk makes pretty much all the BSB livers as well, I think. A couple of World Superbikes as well. Yeah, he's ridiculously good. It's annoying. But actually watching his liveries and watching how he made it, watching the details that he put into it, I think I got better at making liveries just by watching his. Thinking, how the hell did he do that? How's he managed to do every single sponsor? Which I kind of get how he does it now. It's not like I've adopted that style. I think I used to try and make every sticker like as perfect as I could, and then actually ended up wasting layers when actually I could have made it pretty great without wasting all the layers by going, for example, using the background color of the bike to help you. I think that's okay as a crown. I'm not mad at that. That's his head. Let's go down and save his head. So let me just show you what I'm doing now. Can you see where it says link on the right hand side? You're going to go down and click link on all of these. You'll get like a URL type of symbol, hyperlink symbol, and then when they're all highlighted like so, this is going to save you a lot of time. When it's all highlighted, then you're going to click any layer that has that symbol. It doesn't even have to be next to each other. And then you're going to get some new options, including create group. Click create group, and now you have this head that you can just move around. Okay? So I like to work in a large space, like so I can kind of get it more accurate. When I'm happy, I then move that somewhere out the way so it doesn't get in the way of anything else. Okay, so now let's make this little dude's body. I'm going to need another circle. Put that as before. Use it black. I'm going to do a nice big circle like so. Because he's got arms and he also wears like a cloak, don't need to worry too much about the dimension, the shape on the side. Let's make it yeah, he's got a cloak and his head's at the top, so I don't need to do too much at the top. Honestly, this makes you so dizzy when you're making stickers. You're constantly looking at your reference material and then flicking your eyes back to the screen and vice versa, just jumping between two. Right, I'm pretty happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is go and click my layers. So what you can do with layers is obviously his head is going to have to appear on top of his body. So when you click into a layer, you can insert above and below. Okay, so because his cloak is hidden behind him, I'm going to click insert below, and then I'm going to choose the shape, which I think this will be fine. Choose the color, and you can see it's hidden behind now, and then I can put kind of like a cloak shape. If you get it really nice on the angle, so like this is a really cool, like I'm happy with how it looks here, you can hold down your advanced and you can press the arrow buttons to flip vertically and horizontally. So you don't need to try and get that exact same angle again. You can just flip it. Put that in. And then I can see that there is like a lump on where the cloak comes over his shoulder. Kind of like, I should have done the arms first. Never mind, let's just put the lump here. And a lump there. And his right arm is holding something, but I won't give you any hints what that is yet. Spoiler alert. And then let's put his arm kind of sticking out. Again, I'm using the advanced shapes to make it more of an oval, make it look more like an arm. And then on this side, his arm kind of sticks out. Like so. I am going to somewhat rush this because I don't want you to get too bored. Perhaps this is something you can play while you're making your own content. Now what I want to do is create the red cloak. So what I need to do is find at what point the black and the circle are. You can see I want it in front of the outline of the cloak, but in behind his body, which is going to be, actually any of these would be fine. Let's do insert below. I'm going to use these rectangles again. He's got a red cloak. It's quite a bright red cloak. And now I have, let me see where that's hidden. Might bring that further up. Let me see. Right above that one. Let me see this. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's just that line is a bit thick there. And that can go there. But it's going to be holding something, so that's actually going to be covered. I've just noticed that this, sometimes if you click off a sticker too quickly, it moves a little bit, so you're going to click into there and click transform again. Interesting to note though, if you are transforming it, you can't just press X like you did before to print it. You're no longer printing it, you're editing it. So when you're happy with how it is, it's not X you're pressing, it's confirm. You can see on the right hand side. So you're actually pressing confirm. But yeah, this circle, I'm not happy with the thickness. It's not bad. Nobody's going to notice this, but do I leave it like that? Yeah. Okay. Let's do that. So now let's add the cloak. It's going to be a little bit more advanced to add the cloak. I'm going to use maybe the semicircle. I'm going to flip it so I can add it on the other side. And then I think his head could sit. Can you see where? I think his head can sit there. Okay. I will speed up a little bit. I don't want this video to go on forever. See, I can't really see this part of him, so it doesn't need to be too. So he's holding like a staff, which is going to go and actually obscure some of this. Maybe use that just. So that's where the staff kind of goes through there. So I'm not going to waste layers making that look too good. I can maybe leave that and then cover this. And then go put a black circle. Kind of do the arm joint like so. Actually, that was probably a better way. So let's go to the other side and add his other arm. The good thing about doing cartoons is, and the reason I chose cartoon as like something to begin with, is because if you do make it not 100% perfect, or if you do make a small mistake, which I'm not doing, it doesn't really matter too much. If you are using something like, let's say you're going to write Akrapovich, people are going to know if you make a mistake. It's not going to be as accurate, right? Text is a lot less forgiving, whereas a cartoon is a little bit more forgiving. So there isn't many really nice curved lines. This is probably the best one you've got. Let's change that to black so you can actually see what I'm talking about. It's probably the best one. You can skew it a little bit, but it's not great. I don't like doing curved lines. And then what I'm going to do is make his arm. And then because his arm is curved at the end, put this white in place like that. Now, I'm not rushing, I promise. And then make it kind of like... Okay, let's give him some red on the top of his cloak, and then I think we'll be about ready to stick his head on. Put that there. Again, his head is actually going to cover some of this, so I don't need to be too clean. Let's do... for this one. Is that... put a soft rounded triangle. I use this one quite a lot as well. This is a good shape. There are some whole pages of the sticker editor that I do not even look at, I don't use. So much so that I only realized, like, before filming this, that the flags have disappeared. I used to have a whole page of flags, or even 2 pages of flags, that are not a thing anymore. Or if they are, I can't see them. All right, so as before, I'm going to group his body together, like so. Realizing now I probably could have just made like a Rockstar logo or something. Would have been fine. Make him a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to stick his head on. Pop his head on his body. Move that a little bit lower down. Find a nice... don't want it to be too small. Then pop his head over the top. Now his head is at the moment below, which I don't want. I'll show you how you can move your grouped stickers now. So instead what you're going to do is click cut once again. His head's gone. Triangle to paste, but we're going to paste it above his head like that. Just like that. Shall we create his staff here? Do I have enough room? Maybe. Yeah, maybe I have enough room. Let's pop his staff down here. So his staff is an ice cream. So if you don't know what miche is, you probably won't if you're in Europe. But if you're in Southeast Asia, China, etc., you probably do know. It is a very, 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 very cheap tea shop that sells ice cream as well. Like, you know, the soft serve ice cream? It is incredibly popular because I think a drink costs something like 30 pence, or 30 to 50 pence in English money. It's incredibly cheap. And the ice cream, I think ice cream's like 20 baht or something, or even less than that. So it's super cheap. So it's very, very popular in this part of the world. And the character and the theme song will get stuck in your head. Which is probably why I'm even making this now, because of the bloody theme song. Do not search for it. Take my warning. There's a stick. Put that stick. And then kind of make like circles. And then... yeah, we're not too far away now. Don't worry, there is light at the end of this tunnel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one, not cut and paste. So square under here, like so. And then I can do that. I am going a little bit faster. You might need to pause if you are actually following along. There were easier things to make, put it that way. I realize that now. And then we'll make his cone that sits at the top. Here's an ice cream cone. So, how should we do this? I can see the crisscross pattern in his ice cream cone. If in weeks to come, I'm scrolling through the stickers on Ride 6, seeing if I can find something that's going to save me some time, and I see some pretty decent Mishway stickers, I'm going to be incredibly proud. And if you're very confident, go and have a go at the text as well. It's not that hard. And then you can do the full logo, which is this little character. It says Mishway at the bottom. And you'll see it's in like a red circle. It's pretty easy. So both. I do want this to be a little bit darker. So let's go down to this one. Where am I going? And then let's make that a little bit darker. About that. It's not too noticeable, actually. It wasn't until I actually looked at the picture closely that I realized that that's even there. What I am going to do, put it in easy mode, I'm just going to go over the black. And then you just cover the black up at the end. Cover where it leaks at the end. You'll see what I mean. Not really caring about managing layers too much in this one. It's not going on a livery. Try and do a curved top. Yeah, maybe like that. And then we can go over the top of that with black to neaten it up somewhat. How are we doing for time? Doing all right for time. If you're still watching, respect. Respect. Watching some guy make a cartoon on a video game. All right, got our cone. Let's make some ice cream. So I want. Let's do like a blob here, and then really blob there, maybe there, and then we'll use our trusty crescent moon to make kind of like the whip at the top. That's good. Let me just take a look at this. I think it probably needs, go to my circle, probably needs a little bit to connect the cone to the ice cream a little bit better. It's a little bit jagged here, isn't it? We're almost done. Now let's get some white for the ice cream. Then, like before, how's that looking? Bit of finishing touches. I think I'm going to make this look a little bit better. Give us some actual swirls. And there. Pop that in there like that. And then like that. I think we're done. I'm happy with that. I think if you saw that on a bike, you'd be like, yeah, that's Mishre. What I want you to do now, though, because you've definitely not looked at Mishre while you've been watching this, right? Go and Google it, Mixue, and you tell me if this looks like the one that you see on Google. Did we get it right? Is it close enough? You let me know. Thanks for watching. I've got more livery and stuff coming out on this channel very soon, so do stick around for that. But this was just something a little bit different. It gets requested a hell of a lot, so why not? Let's do it, and I'll show you how I make these things. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.